Good morning. In this class, we'll start the synopsis part of atoms. We'll continue with the capacitance part after you come back to the college. We have finished electric potential. Capacitance part will start after you come back to the college. Within that time, we'll try to finish this small topic atoms, from which you can expect at least one question in the competitive examinations. So as far as atoms is concerned, you need to know the prominent atom models. We know that the prominent atom models are J.J. Thomson's atom model, Rutherford's atom model, and Bohr's atom model. J.J. Thomson's atom model and Rutherford's atom model met with several failures. So those two atom models were discarded, and Bohr's atom model is considered to be true to some extent. There are some disadvantages or drawbacks of Bohr's atom model as well. Presently vector atom model is taken into account. But as far as our syllabus is concerned, we'll stick on to Bohr's atom model. We'll assume that Bohr's atom model is almost true, or it gives the proper structure of an atom. So J.J. Thomson's atom model should be known, Rutherford's atom model should be known, and Bohr's atom model should be known. I have told you what is an atom. An atom is a basic building block of every matter. Atom antandre enantandre, it's a basic building block of every matter. Every matter is made up of atoms. Atoms are in turn made up of three fundamental particles. One is proton, the other is neutron, and the another is electron. Initially, this positive neutrons do not have any charge. Initially, in Rutherford, J.J. Thomson's atom model, it was assumed that all the positive charge is distributed throughout the volume of the atom. Complete positive charge, it's distributed throughout the volume of the atom, and negative charges were embedded to this positive charge, just like seeds in watermelon anta helidru J.J. Thomson's atom model. Then this theory was discarded. The concept of nucleus was introduced. Andre initially atomic model proposed ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ nuclear structure ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. It was Rutherford who introduced the idea of nucleus. He said not all the positive charge is distributed throughout the volume of the atom. Instead, positive charge is concentrated in a small core at the center of the atom called as nucleus. The idea of nucleus was introduced in Rutherford's atom model. The same was extended even in Bohr's atom model. So this is how the atomic models developed. We'll first try to concentrate on J.J. Thomson's atom model. See, J.J. Thomson's atom model is also known as the plum pudding model. J.J. Thomson's atom model is also known as plum pudding model. This atom model tells that atom consists of both positive as well as negative charges. Atom na positive charge ode negative charge nu ade anta helidda J.J. Thomson kuda. He said that positive charge is distributed throughout the volume of the atom. Positive charge complete atom volume purti occupy agade, and negative charges are embedded to this positive charge, just like seeds in a watermelon. If you suppose the watermelon fruit to be an atom, one complete watermelon fruit na atom anta ankondre, that red fruit represents positive charge. Andre complete watermelon fruit nage red fruit irtade, or the complete volume of that watermelon fruit is occupied by that red portion of the fruit, and seeds are embedded in that red fruit. Our seeds na electrons compare ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Electrons are embedded to the positive charge, just like seeds in watermelon ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. But this J.J. Thomson's atom model failed to explain large angle alpha scattering. We have studied alpha particle scattering experiment. ಈ alpha particle scattering ನಾಗೆ large angle scattering ಆಗ್ತದೆ, greater than 90 degree, about 180 degree scattering. A large angle scattering J.J. Thomson's atom model na explain agala. That's one of the failures of J.J. Thomson's atom model. And also J.J. Thomson's atom model fails to explain stability of an atom. J.J. Thomson in atom model propose madanalla, this is totally unstable. This kind of atoms cannot exist. Positive charge and negative charge can never be together. Positive ಮತ್ತು negative charge ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ together ಇರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, he says positive charge is distributed throughout the volume of the atom, and negative charges are embedded to it, just like seeds in watermelon ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Under the positive charges and negative charges are together, that cannot be possible. ಹಾಗಿತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಡೆಸ್ಟ್ರಾಯ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜೆ ಥಾಮ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ should finally get destroyed. So according to J.J. Thomson's atom model, atom should not exist at all. ಅವನು ಹೇಳಿದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಾಗೆ ಇರ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ such atomic model is not acceptable. So J.J. Thomson's atom model failed to explain large angle alpha scattering. J.J. Thomson's atom model failed to explain stability of an atom, so it was discarded. The only success of J.J. Thomson's atom model is it could account for electrical neutrality of an atom. We know that an atom is electrically neutral. J.J. Thomson's atomic model could account for electrical neutrality of an atom. Atom electrically neutral irtade anta helbitta. He said the amount of positive charge in an atom is equal to amount of negative charge on electrons. Atom nage ಎಷ್ಟು positive charge ado electrons ಮೇಲೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ negative charge ade anta helbitta. The negative charge on all electrons is same as the amount of positive charge present in the atom. As a result, an atom is electrically neutral. This is the only success of J.J. Thomson's atom model. So, this is because of these drawbacks met with J.J. Thomson's atom model. J.J. Thomson's atom model was discarded. Then comes Rutherford's atom model. Rutherford's model of an atom. We know that Rutherford's model of an atom is called nuclear model of an atom because it was Rutherford who introduced the idea of nucleus of an atom. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ Rutherford's atom model na nuclear model of an atom ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Also Rutherford's atom model is called as planetary model of an atom. Rutherford's atom model is also called planetary model of an atom. It's also called planetary model because in Rutherford's atom model, it is said that the positive charge is not distributed throughout the volume of the atom as said in J.J. Thomson's atom model. J.J. Thomson ಹೇಳಿದಂಗೆ positive charge complete atom na distribute agilla. Instead, all the positive charge is present at the center of the atom, called as a nucleus. That core where all the positive charge and most of the mass of the atom is concentrated is called as nucleus. Nucleus nage complete positive charge ide ಮತ್ತೆ most of the mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. Not all the mass is concentrated in the nucleus. Atom the complete mass nucleus nage illa. Most of the mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ mass nucleus ಇಂದ ಹೊರಗೂ ಅದೇ. ಆ mass ಏನು ಅಂತ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. According to Rutherford, positive charge is not distributed throughout the volume of the atom. Instead, all the positive charge and most of the mass of the atom is concentrated at the center of the atom called as nucleus, right? So electrons, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ negatively charged electrons ಎಲ್ಲವೆ. Electrons are not in the nucleus. Instead, electrons are revolving around the nucleus in different circular orbits. See, he says electrons are not present in the nucleus, or electrons are not embedded to the nucleus. Instead, electrons are revolving around the nucleus in different circular orbits, just like planets revolving around the sun. Electrons nucleus sutta hage suttidave antandre planets hage sun sutta suttavo ade ರೀತಿ electrons nucleus sutta suttave anta ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ. Electrons revolve around the nucleus of an atom just like planets revolve around the sun. It is because of this reason Rutherford's model of atom is also called as planetary model of atom, because Rutherford's atomic model just resembles planetary model. Planetary model nag hage planets sun sutta suttavo ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ electrons nucleus sutta suttavo. It is because of this reason Rutherford's atom model is also called as planetary model of an atom, right? After all this, you should remember nucleus is positively charged core of an atom where most of the mass of atom is concentrated. Negatively charged electrons revolve around the nucleus in different circular orbits. This is known to us. Also, Rutherford's model accounts for electrical neutrality of an atom. ಯಾಕೆ ಒಂದು atom electrically neutral ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ Rutherford. According to Rutherford, the positive charge on nucleus ಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟು positive charge ಇರ್ತದೋ electrons ಮೇಲೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ negative charge ಇರ್ತದಂತೆ. The amount of positive charge on nucleus is equal to the amount of negative charge on all the electrons. ಎಲ್ಲ electrons ಮೇಲೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು negative charge ಬರ್ತದೋ nucleus ಮೇಲೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ positive charge ಇರ್ತದೆ. As a result, the net charge on an atom becomes zero. We say an atom is electrically neutral. Amount of negative charge on electrons is equal to amount of positive charge on the nucleus. thus an atom is electrically neutral. So electrical neutrality was explained. Rutherford's atom model could explain electrical neutrality of an atom. Idadmele, for electrons to revolve around the nucleus, see here, I have represented the nucleus of an atom. Plus Z will be the charge on the nucleus. Electrons will be revolving around the nucleus in different circular orbits. This is the Rutherford's model of an atom. ಈಗ ಯಾವುದೇ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪಾತ್ನಾಗ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಪಿಟಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್. For an electron to revolve around the nucleus, it requires centripetal force. Can you tell me what provides centripetal force for the electron to revolve around the nucleus? ಈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಸುತ್ತಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಪಿಟಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಯಾರು? Can you tell me which force provides centripetal force for the electron to revolve around the nucleus? See, this is nucleus, it has positive charge. This is an electron, electron has got negative charge. For electron to revolve around the nucleus, it requires a centripetal force. Which force is responsible for producing centripetal force? Very good. Electrostatic force between nucleus and the electron. Nucleus ಮತ್ತು electron ಮಧ್ಯೆ electrostatic force ಇರ್ತದೆ. I have told you, force between any two charges is called as electric force. Nucleus is positively charged, electron is negatively charged. However, between two charged particles, there must be a force. Because these two are unlike charges. Nodri, nucleus is positively charged and electron is negatively charged. Positive and negative, they are unlike charges. Unlike charges attract each other. Hagadre, nucleus exert force of attraction on the electron. See, the force is pointing towards the center of the circular path. This is the circular path of the electron. This is the circular path of the electron. Hagadre, nucleus is at the center of the circular path. The force is pointing towards the center of the circular path. What is that force which points towards the center of the circular path called as? ಯಾವ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪಾತ್ ಕಡೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತದೋ ಆ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಸಚ್ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as? The forces that points towards the center of the circular path. The force that points towards the center of the circular path. Actually, ಇದು electric force. Force between nucleus and electron. This is actually electric force, but this electric force is pointing towards the center of the circular path. So this electric force must be behaving like centripetal force. Centripetal antandre center seeking antartha. Center seeking force. Because electric force is pointing towards the center of the circular path, the electric force between nucleus and the electron provides centripetal force for the electron to revolve around the nucleus. ಯಾವಾಗ ರೂದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಸುತ್ತವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ನೋ, ಆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಸುತ್ತಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಪಿಟಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು ಅವನು. He said the electrostatic force between nucleus and the electron provides necessary centripetal force for the electrons. ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಅವನು ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಾನೆ. The centripetal force for electrons to revolve around the nucleus is provided by electrostatic force of attraction between nucleus and the electrons. Idadmele, even Rutherford predicts the size of an atom and size of a nucleus from his alpha particle scattering experiment. Nale nodoಣ alpha particle scattering experiment ಬಗ್ಗೆ, we'll describe it in the next class. Alpha particle scattering experiment use ಮಾಡಿ Rutherford predicts the size of the nucleus and size of the atom. According to Rutherford, size of nucleus is of the order of 10 power minus 15 meter. This is the size of the nucleus. Size of the nucleus is about 10 to the power of minus 15 meters. And size of an atom is about 10 power minus 10 meter. Nodri, size of nucleus is 10 power minus 15 meter. Idanna Fermi meter anta karitivi. 10 power minus 15 meter is called as Fermi meter. And size of an atom is 10 power minus 10 meter. If we compare the size of an atom with size of nucleus, SA represents size of atom and SN represents size of nucleus. If we compare size of an atom with size of nucleus, it will be 10 to meter cancel agi meter barbarda. Actually meter should not come, with cancel agbo. Size of atom to size of nucleus is equals to 10 power 5 bartade. So size of atom is 10 power 5 times the size of nucleus. Size of an atom is 10 to the power of 5 times the size of nucleus. Just try to imagine atom kinta, nucleus kinta atom size 10 power 5 times ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. Size of an atom is 10 to the power of 5 times the size of nucleus. 10 power 5 ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 1 lakh. 10 power 5 is nothing but 1 lakh. And the size of an atom is 1 lakh times more than size of the nucleus. Nucleus ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 1 lakh times ಜಾಸ್ತಿ size of the atom ಇರ್ತದೆ. Right? From this we can conclude that most of the space inside an atom is empty. Most of the space inside an atom is empty. See, nucleus is at the center of the atom. A nucleus ginta atom the size 1 lakh times ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇಂದ ಆಟಮ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಬಹಳ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಇದೆ. there is a lot of empty space inside an atom because the size of an atom is 10 to the power of 5 times more than size of the nucleus. So there is a lot of empty space inside the atom. ಆ empty space ನಾಗ electrons distribute ಆಗಿರ್ತಾವೆ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ probability density ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ electron cloud ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಬಲಿ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿನಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಬಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಸೊ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಕ್ಲೌಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವೇ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಕ್ಲೌಡ್. ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆಟಮ್ ಈಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ಆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇಂದ ಆಟಮ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ದೂರ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೆ there is a lot of empty space between nucleus and the surface of an atom. ಆ empty space ನಾಗ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾವೆ in different orbits, different shells, right? ಆ ಶೆಲ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ an atom ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Anyhow, so there is a lot of empty space inside the atom. This is regarding Rutherford's atom model. I'll represent Rutherford's atom model. At the center, this is completely an atom. At the center of the atom, there is a positively charged core called as nucleus. Negatively charged electrons revolve around the nucleus in different orbits. Nodri, e nucleus size ಗೆ compare ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ atom size ಬಹಳ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. Size of an atom is about 10 to the power of 5 times size of the nucleus. Size of nucleus and size of atom was discovered by Rutherford in his alpha particle scattering experiment. Right? Idamele, I have told you, according to Rutherford, most of the mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. I am just saying, most of the mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. Not all the mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. Nucleus ನಾಗ ಇರೋದು ಬರೀ protons ಮತ್ತೆ neutron. Actually atom ನಾಗ 3 particle ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. Proton, neutron ಮತ್ತೆ electron. Nucleus ನಾಗ ಇರೋದು ಬರೀ protons ಮತ್ತೆ electrons. Nucleus ನಾಗ ಇರೋದು ಬರೀ protons ಮತ್ತೆ neutrons. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ electrons are outside the nucleus. In the nucleus, the particles that are present are only protons and neutrons. Electrons are outside the nucleus. If we compare mass of proton and mass of an electron, see, mass of proton is 1.67 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kg. Mass of neutron is also the same. Mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. Mass of proton nodri about 10 power minus 27 kg ade. Mass of electron is about 10 power minus 31 kg. So mass of proton is very much greater than mass of electron. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಮಾಸ್ಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಬಹಳ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ನಾಗ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರಿವಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಟಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ಆಟಮ್ದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಸ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಎ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟು ದ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಟಮ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್. Electron contributes a very small mass to the atom because their mass is very less. Protons and neutrons contribute a lot of their mass to the mass of an atom. So we say most of the mass is present in the nucleus. Yakandre protons neutrons the mass ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ protons neutrons nucleus nagave. So most of the mass of the atom is in the nucleus and a small part of the mass is around the nucleus. Can you tell me what is that small part of the mass or whose mass is around the nucleus? Which particle's mass is around the nucleus? Or which particle's mass is outside the nucleus? Which particle's mass is outside the nucleus? Electron's mass is outside the nucleus. Electron mass nucleus in the ಹೊರಗದೆ. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, most of the mass is concentrated in the nucleus ಅಂತೀವಿ. Not all the mass is concentrated in the nucleus. No, all the mass is not concentrated in the nucleus. About 98-99% of the mass is in the nucleus. 1% of the mass of the atom is outside the nucleus. Electrons ಹೊರಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಾಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, right? So this is regarding Rutherford's atom model. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ರೂದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್. ಈ ರೂದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಓದ್ರಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ಸು ಅವೆ, ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಸು ಅವೆ ರೂದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ದು, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ರೂದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ could account for electrical neutrality of an atom. Obvious, the amount of positive charge on the nucleus is equals to amount of negative charge on the electrons ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ದ. So Rutherford's model could account for electrical neutrality. This is a success of Rutherford's atom model. ಆಮೇಲೆ Rutherford's atom model could explain large angle alpha scattering. Alpha particle scattering experiment conduct ಮಾಡಿ he explained why alpha particles get scattered through large angles. That was explained. So we'll discuss this alpha particle scattering experiment in the next class. We'll solve some problems on it as well. Rutherford's atom model could explain large angle alpha scattering. J.J. Thomson's atom model could not explain this. ಇದೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಹೌದಲ್ಲ. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ Rutherford's atom model could not explain stability of an atom. Even Rutherford failed to explain stability of an atom. ಯಾಕೆ ಆಟಮ್ ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವನ್ Rutherford's atom model, if we consider Rutherford's atom model to be true, that atom becomes unstable. ಅಂತ atoms nature ನ exist ಆಗಲ್ಲ. So Rutherford's atom model could not explain stability of an atom. We'll explain this term stability. Stability ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ Rutherford's atom model could not explain presence of discrete spectral lines. Discrete spectral lines ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ ಲೈನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ವೈಲೆಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಬ್ಲೂ ಲೈನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಲೈನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಮರ್ಜ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ರೀತಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕಲರ್, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕಲರ್, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕಲರ್, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕಲರ್, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಎಮಿಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್. ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾವೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಯಾಕೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ Rutherford's atom model ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Rutherford's atom model could not explain presence of discrete spectral lines emitted by the atom. ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಎಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಲ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಎಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ Rutherford's atom model. It fails to explain the presence of discrete spectral lines of hydrogen atom. Rutherford ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. Rutherford's atom model ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾಳೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Rutherford's atom model ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ಬಂತು Rutherford ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ. Rutherford could not explain the presence of discrete spectral lines emitted by hydrogen atom. So that was a failure of Rutherford's atom model. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ we'll try to understand what does this stability or why Rutherford's atom model could not explain stability of an atom. ಈ Rutherford's atom model ನಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? Rutherford says electrons revolve around the nucleus in all possible circular orbits ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. When electron is revolving around the nucleus, for the electron to revolve around the nucleus, the necessary centripetal force is provided by the electrostatic force between nucleus and the electron. We know that electron is under centripetal force. ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೋ ಆ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಲರೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ electron is an accelerated particle. Electron is accelerating around the nucleus. Electron is revolving around the nucleus ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it must be acted upon by some force. ಯಾವುದದು? centripetal force. If an electron is acted upon by a force, it must be accelerating. We know that electron is a negatively charged particle and it is now accelerating around the nucleus. According to classical electromagnetic theory, electromagnetic waves ಬಂದಾಗ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅದೇನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. According to classical electromagnetic theory, an accelerated charged particle should always emit energy. ಒಂದು accelerated charged particle ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಎನರ್ಜಿನ ಎಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ electron revolving around the nucleus is an accelerated charged particle or it's not accelerated? Electron revolving around the nucleus is an accelerated charged particle or it's not accelerated? Decide that first. ಈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಿರೋದಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಆಕ್ಸಲರೇಟೆಡ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಅಲ್ಲ? ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ. ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಲರೇಟೆಡ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್? ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ. Electron is acted upon by centripetal force. If it is acted upon by centripetal force, it must have centripetal acceleration. So electron revolving around the nucleus is an accelerated charged particle. According to classical electromagnetic theory, an accelerated charged particle should continuously emit energy in the form of electromagnetic radiation. ಒಂದು accelerated charged particle ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ energy emit ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ in the form of electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation is nothing but light. Electromagnetic radiation is nothing but light. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ electron revolving around the nucleus is an accelerated charged particle, so it must be continuously emitting energy. As it starts emitting energy, electron energy kadme aagta bartadalla, so it starts revolving in a circular path of smaller and smaller radius. Barta barta adrad path hig spiral agi, it will ultimately fall into the nucleus. As electron starts emitting energy, it starts revolving in a circular path of smaller and small diagram hakan markbitti nanu illi theory madbekadre I have shown you that spiral path followed by the electron. As electron starts losing energy, it starts revolving in circular path of smaller and smaller radius following spiral path, eventually falls into the nucleus. Electron finally ultimately falls into the nucleus. Once the electron comes and falls into the nucleus, that means the destruction of atomic structure. Positive negative charge elli meet aagtavalla, atomic structure destroy agutade. In case of an atom, elli positive ಮತ್ತು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೋ ಆ ಆಟಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಡೆಸ್ಟ್ರಾಯ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ರೂದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅನ್ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್? ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೂದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ರಿವಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ಸ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಲರೇಟೆಡ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್. An accelerated charged particle should continuously emit energy in the form of electromagnetic radiation. So after emitting energy, this electron starts revolving around the nucleus in spiral path and eventually falls into the nucleus. So this atom model as described by Rutherford should be a stable atom model or an unstable atom model. Whether the atom, whether Rutherford's atom is stable or unstable. ಇಂಥ atoms exist ಆಗ್ತಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ exist ಆಗಲ್ಲ. They are totally unstable. They get destroyed. They get destroyed. As soon as they are formed, they get destroyed. As soon as they are formed, they get destroyed. Electron starts emitting energy, eventually falls into the nucleus, atomic structure gets destroyed. So even Rutherford's atom model was discarded. Rutherford's atom model ಕೂಡ ತೆಗೆದಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರು. Next comes Bohr's atom model, which is most important as far as our theory is concerned. ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ರೂದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಜೆ ಥಾಮ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಟಮಿಕ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಹಳ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಟರಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಟುಮಾರೋ. ವಿಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ವೈ ರೂದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಕುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್. ಯಾಕೆ ರೂದರ್ಫೋರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡೋಣ. ವಿಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಟರಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್. ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್. We'll study about impact parameter. We'll start Bohr's atom model. Bohr's atom model ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. Probably by first we'll be finishing atoms. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತವೆ. That we'll solve for tomorrow and after tomorrow. Within first we'll try to finish atoms, and once you come back to the college, we'll start with capacitance. ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಓದ್ರಿ, ನಾನು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಕಳ್ಸಿನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದರದ್ದು. Go through electric potential. As soon as you come back to the college, we'll start capacitance. On the 2 to 3 classes na capacitance ಮುಗಿತಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ಬೋದು. So I have not taken it up in the online classes. So once you come back here, we'll start capacitance. We'll solve problems on it. And from 7th, you may have model KSET and NEET examinations. So you keep preparing for them. Syllabus for model KSET and NEET examination is the dual nature of radiation and matter. That chapter mugdu, CET NEET mugdu. Electric charges and fields is over. Electric potential is over. Atoms will be finished. In 4 chapter irtave. Start preparing. Nimage ಏನನ ಡೌಟ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ I will clarify it to you once you come back to the college. ಯಾವದನ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇರಲಿ, ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇರಲಿ, ಡ್ಯುಯಲ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಇರಲಿ, ರೈಟ್? At the end I will again revise the CET and NEET of these chapters. ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಮ್ದು ಉಳಿದಿರೋ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಮುಗಿತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾದ್ರೂ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫೈ ದ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಆರ್ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್. CET and NEET, ಪ್ರಾಬಬಲಿ CET and NEET ಇದನ್ನಂತೂ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡೂ ದಿಸ್. If not theory, I will do this. CET and NEET will be covered again. Okay. We'll continue in the next class, please. We'll continue tomorrow.